Gen Z is the most connected generation in history. They can text anyone instantly, FaceTime across the world, join communities in seconds, post a thought and get feedback immediately. So why do they report the highest levels of loneliness ever recorded? How can you be surrounded by notifications and still feel completely alone? Here, S, the hidden psychology of Gen Z loneliness, and an S deeper than too much social media. Loneliness isn't about being alone. It's about feeling unseen. And Gen Z lives in a world where visibility is constant, but authenticity is rare. Think about it. You can post a photo, a story, a tweet. You can share your wins, your gym progress, your aesthetic morning routine. But how often do you share confusion, jealousy, insecurity, the fear that you're falling behind? Most people don't. So what happens? Everyone performs strength. No one shows doubt. And everyone secretly feels like they're the only one struggling. That creates a silent isolation. You scroll through hundreds of people every day, but you rarely feel truly known by any of them. Gen Z grew up with curated identities, personal brands, highlight reels. Even vulnerability can feel aesthetic, filtered, strategically posted. And when connection becomes performance, intimacy disappears. There's another layer. Gen Z is hyper self-aware. They understand trauma, attachment styles, red flags, boundaries. They can analyze behavior with incredible depth. But awareness without emotional safety doesn't create closeness. In fact, sometimes it creates distance. When you're constantly analyzing interactions, are they toxic? Is this avoidant behavior? Am I being gaslit? You can become guarded, overprotective of your energy, quick to detach. Boundaries are healthy, but when fear drives them, they can turn into walls. And walls keep pain out, but they also keep connection out. Another hidden factor is comparison. Previous generations compared themselves to neighbors or classmates. Gen Z compares themselves to the entire world. Someone your age is richer, fitter, more attractive, more successful, more healed, more productive. And comparison doesn't just create insecurity, it creates emotional withdrawal. When you constantly feel behind, you isolate yourself. You don't want to be seen struggling. You don't want to admit you're confused about your future. So you retreat internally. Even in a room full of friends, you feel separate. There's also the productivity trap. A lot of Gen Z ties self-worth to growth. Hustle culture mixed with healing culture. Improve your body, improve your mindset, build income, fix your trauma, optimize everything. But when life becomes a constant self-improvement project, relationships can start to feel like distractions. Do they align with my goals? Are they elevating me? Is this connection productive? Connection isn't productive. It's messy. It's inefficient. It requires time with no measurable outcome. And when you subconsciously prioritize optimization over intimacy, loneliness grows quietly. Then there's digital dopamine. Quick hits of validation, likes, views, replies, trick your brain into feeling socially rewarded. But those micro interactions don't replace deep bonding. They stimulate you without nourishing you. It's like eating sugar when you're starving. It gives energy, but not fulfillment. So your brain feels socially active, while your heart feels disconnected. And here is something people don't talk about enough. Gen Z fears being a burden. They're emotionally intelligent. They know everyone is stressed. Everyone is healing. Everyone is overwhelmed. So instead of opening up, they say, it's fine. They handle it alone. They process quietly because they don't want to add weight to someone else's plate. But unshared emotions turn into isolation. The more you handle alone, the more alone you feel. And over time, loneliness becomes an identity. I'm just used to being alone. I don't really need anyone. I prefer my own company. Independence feels safer than vulnerability. But humans are wired for closeness. Not just proximity, but emotional resonance. Being understood without performing. The hidden psychology of Gen Z loneliness isn't weakness. It's hyperconnection without depth. Awareness without safety. Boundaries without vulnerability. Stimulation without intimacy. And the solution isn't deleting every app or blaming the generation. It's risk. The risk of being unfiltered. The risk of saying, I'm not okay. The risk of letting someone see you without the curated version. Real connection feels slower, quieter, less impressive, but it feels real. Loneliness doesn't fade when you get more followers. It fades when you feel known. And maybe the most rebellious thing Gen Z can do in a world of performance is to stop performing.